Murong clan, he's put everything aside to focus on training. You found a good friend and someone to aspire to. Where is his lordship Woon, by the way? Can't say. I asked the Murim Alliance, but there was no official response. Even the people working here don't seem to know. Excuse me for not finding out in advance. No, it's okay. You must have been busy with your duties as the outer court master. Let's meet again with good news after the victory. Do your best, Brother Jean. Yeah. Thanks, Sang-ah. That's it for now. Wii-U. I'm finally done with these damned papers. Well. Thank you for your hard work, Secretary Woon. The hard work was from both of you. I just pitched in a little. Oh my, a little. By the way, don't you mind it. The final martial spars are nearing. I'm fine. After all, there's still some left. What's the match today? Oh, I heard that today, the Gongsun and Murong clans will showcase their clash on the central stage. Recently, the eldest Murong disciple, Murong Jin, has been particularly popular. But right now, the event is ongoing, so there won't be any seats available, either in the general or VIP section. Perhaps not even for the next spar. No, it's not a problem. Do you happen to know where Great Warrior Dako, who accompanied me, is? That man should be at the East Martial stage, where unofficial duels are being held. Unofficial duels. While they're not official martial confrontations, it's said that quite a crowd gathers there. Really? Brother Dako might find such places more appealing. Understood. I'll head there first. Thank you for your work. Get a good rest, Secretary Woon. Guest reception hall. The weather is nice. Is it because I've been stuck in the guest reception hall for days? The sky feels particularly high and blue today. On Gongsun Kong, the eldest Gongsun disciple. I don't believe it. How did he block my rising moon? How? A Murong guy, not even Wudong or Shaolin, manifested sword chi. Blocking my consummate skill was likely just a coincidence. Isn't my rising moon enough to impress the clan head himself? Although Gongsun Chang and the outer court master are behind me. Losing to the Murong clan is absolutely unacceptable. Ha! The Murong clan's sword is quite impressive. Those who made their name in swordsmanship would never be shabby. It is certainly so. Is there a special reason you mentioned the Murong clan in this spar? To me, the martial power of the two seems quite similar. It's not. That young man's sword has a grand flow, neither relying solely on technique nor inner strength. You can't grasp it just by having powerful inner strength or holding a sword for a long time. It's especially rare among the young generation nowadays. The Murong clan has a bright future ahead. That's right, ha ha ha. A flow, ha. The martial power of the two is surely almost equal. Gongsun Kang's moves are splendid and marvelous. However, the advantage is gradually tilting towards Murong Jin. As expected, your fame is not without merit. As someone who could block my sword, you're just as impressive. This will be the end. That stance is our Gongsun clan's ultimate move, the avian moon chase. Senior brother is going to finish it. Alright then. Murong clan stunt the sky-piercing sword. The sky-piercing sword. Ha! How reckless. They're completely ignoring the consequences. Hup. Enough. No, stopping isn't on their minds. What? What's happening? Why is esteemed monk Jinho using his force on them? Ugh. What was that? As the chief supervisor of the martial contest, I hereby disqualify the Gongsun and Murong clans. Hey, what? What kind of nonsense is that? I already stated that killing methods are strictly forbidden. This was agreed upon by the 18 great martial factions of the Murim Alliance, and no one is an exception. Both of you are eliminated. Boo. Come on. Oh dear. Still not giving up, esteemed monk Jinho. This Murim contest was suggested by the Orthodox sects, with the goal of elevating their status and keeping the Yangtze River Pirates Alliance in check. Ending the spar of the unorthodox Gongsun clan like this is ultimately to show off their authority. Esteemed monk Jinho will never reverse his decision. Tiger Rock Trading Company, Lee Holmes' office last night, the Munyung Traders, one of the 3 greatest trading companies, suffered severe damage. And it was not just material. Among the casualties was the eldest son of Munyung. Recovering from this harm may take around 5 years. Their credibility will also take a major hit. There must have been the Gongsun clan guards in the Munyung Trading Company, yet people died. What happened? The 3 greatest trading companies were secretly conducting an unimaginable scale of trade with one organization. However, the Munyung Trading Company failed to meet the date and paid the price. In other words, they rode a tiger and got bitten by it. Could it be the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor's force? Why do you think it's his force and not the Yangtze River Pirates? Naturally, because only he and the Imperial Heaven Squad have enough power to not fear the Gongsun clan. Meanwhile, the Yangtze River Pirates Alliance doesn't have the competence to engage in such a deal with the 3 greatest trading companies. Therefore, a separate force must exist related to the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor. An enormous force capable of proposing such a large-scale business that even the 3 greatest trading companies couldn't meet the deadline. So, you're telling me this because we have a chance to ride that tiger? Yes, you're right. Initially, the 3 greatest trading companies intended to resist that force. That was until they saw Munyung Trading Company fall. They offered us a certain share for joining their business. Meaning, we are to ride the tiger together. Mostly, it's precious elixirs and herbs. Many are only found in remote outlands. Incredible. Right, a huge deal that equals several times the annual consumption. Since all the items are expensive herbs, even a portion easily surpasses our total contract value from last year. We have some stock of these herbs, but not much. This is still left from a recent purchase, and this was delivered last time. It might be feasible if we pull together the stock from all the branch stores. Given the inability to increase the production of elixirs and herbs, we'll have to gather what's already in circulation and dispatch the trading company directly to its place of origin to meet the schedule. Yes, exactly. What a great decision it was to recently establish a connection with a trading company that travels to the Northern Sea. By the way, now we know the reason the market prices of high-grade herbs were unusually fluctuating. They say the amount already delivered is enormous. The other 2 trading companies are likely blazing with greed to buy up goods, so we shouldn't count on luck to obtain more. Focus all efforts on securing the supplies. But the prices may skyrocket. It doesn't matter. We've decided to accept it in gold, and the price will be set by us anyway. We'd also better purchase more iron ore and herbs for treatment. Grains too, if possible. Right. Those prices will soar due to this impact as well, so it's going to be a profitable business. But will that be okay, considering the Gongsun clan is unlikely to sit idle? We have a precedent with the Namgong clan, which allows us to predict what might happen to the Gongsun clan, right? With that level of power and wealth, the domain will undergo significant changes. Not just in the commercial field or Murim, but the whole world. As risky as this opportunity is, the rewards are surely substantial. However, if we fail, we could end up like the Munyung Trading Company. Are you still willing to ride the tiger? Sure I am. I had a feeling you would say that. On top of that, I'm going to tame that tiger with my own hands. For sure. Within the Murim Alliance, near the Morong clan's lodging. In the end, esteemed monk Jinho's decision halted the Murim contest. Despite protests during the 2-day representative meeting, he remained unmoved. That person. Are you perhaps great warrior Gongsun Kong? I'm Murongmi, the outer court master of my clan. Ah, yes. You are not mistaken. What matter brings you to our lodging? I wish to finish the spar with great warrior Murong. What? The head and I must return home soon due to an incident at the trading company connected to our clan. Which means the previous spar will end unresolved. I barely got permission from the clan head. If great warrior Murong Jin also intends to come to the Eastern Martial Stage tomorrow afternoon, please tell him to do so. I'll be off, then. Tomorrow afternoon. Having an off-site spar amidst all the commotion about the disqualification issue doesn't seem like a good idea. But since the opponent has expressed his intent, there's no point in trying to stop my elder brother. That aside, what could have happened to the trading company connected to the Gongsun clan? For it to give up on the Murim contest and go home. The next day Eastern Martial Stage. Why is it so crowded today? I see many people in outfits that weren't seen yesterday. They seem to know that your lordship Woon has arrived. They may have come to see that 3 Fights Unrivaled Swordsman. Newly titled 3 Fights Unrivaled, he fights only 3 times a day without using inner energy, yet always emerges victorious. To be called unrivaled in his lordship's presence. It makes me happy to see that Brother Dako, who used to seek only pure strength, is reaching new heights in swordsmanship. Wow. What do you think? I must go. That's what I thought. 3 Fights Unrivaled. 3 Fights Unrivaled. Do your best, 3 Fights Unrivaled Swordsman. Honestly. What a reliable back. Wow. 3 Fights Unrivaled. I lost. 3 Fights Unrivaled. There's some traveler on the stage. I'll handle him. That won't be easy. What do you mean, great warrior Murong? If you win that man, I'll accept it as my defeat. Thank you for coming. No problem. Thank you for inviting me. Shall we go, then? Woohoo. 3 Fights Unrivaled. I lost. 3 Fights Unrivaled. Great warrior Dako. Ah. It's that injured senior. The fact that the great warrior Dako is here. 3 Fights Unrivaled. 3 Fights Unrivaled. Scholar Woon. Ha. What is wrong with me? There's a guest on the martial spar stage. I'll handle it. That won't be easy. What do you mean by that, great warrior Murong? If you win that man, I'll accept it as my defeat. Who is that person for you to say such things? He is a swordsman named Dako Rang. An opponent I've never won against. They say victory to the victor, so if you defeat that person, it naturally means I have lost, doesn't it? Dako Rang. That sounds familiar. Great warrior Murong, against someone like that wanderer. Well. It doesn't matter. As long as I get rid of him. Fine. But regardless of the outcome, you should prepare to duel with me. Woaha. The great disciple of the Gongsun clan has challenged the 3 Fights Unrivaled. 3 Fights Unrivaled. Gongsun Kong. Gongsun Kong. I am Gongsun Kong, the great disciple of the Gongsun clan. I am Dako Rang. If you get off the martial spar stage now. I won't use the sword chi. What? I won't use my internal energy either. I'll only rely on my strength and this single sword to duel. Oh. Finally, it's happening. Are you still scared? I remembered. It was Dako Rang, the solitary wanderer who manifested his sword chi at Iron Peak. Even so, for a mere rogue to dare speak such arrogant words. I certainly gave you a chance. Ooh. He's starting with sword chi. Come at me. Regret your arrogance in hell. Hook. Ha. Damn. If I hadn't twisted the sword path with my internal energy, it would have cut my hand. How is this possible? It's impossible to use an ordinary iron sword to block a sword imbued with sword chi. Is it some kind of witchcraft? It's just that your swordsmanship is immature. And I too am still lacking. The move that his lordship Wound displayed at the Northern Sea did not even make the slightest sound. Don't try to deceive me with nonsense. Isn't the level of sword chi he is manifesting already beyond the beginner stage? If the great disciple can manifest sword chi like that, to what extent has the master of the Gongsun clan reached? Although his sword chi can't be compared to those of the 5 heavenly sovereigns. Manifesting sword chi is no longer the exclusive ability of the 5 heavenly sovereigns. I'll get rid of your witchcraft. He's still not putting any chi or internal energy into his sword. You. What's this? What on earth happened to the great warrior Dako? The tip of great warrior Dako's sword landed like a butterfly on the tip of great warrior Gongsun's sword. So elegant and soft, gently. Then, as if brushing past great warrior Gongsun like the wind. Great warrior Gongsun's sword rose lightly into the sky as if it were weightless. Kook. Senior brother. Don't tell me he got internal injuries due to internal energy reflux. Are you alright? What on earth did you do? It's not all about internal energy or techniques. Sword chi is even less so. Don't be intoxicated by the power of the sword chi. Find your sword. If you can't, you'll never surpass me. Woa. The 3 fights unrivaled swordsman has won. Senior brother. 3 fights unrivaled. 3 fights unrivaled. An ordinary martial artist who couldn't even participate in the preliminaries defeated the great disciple of the Gongsun clan. And he didn't even use internal energy. I'm glad I bet on the 3 fights unrivaled. Damn. I thought I had gotten stronger than before. I'll have to work even harder to catch up. Stop. Who on earth are you? Someone like you can't just be an ordinary wanderer. Reveal your clan and affiliation. Who are you, and where are you from? Clan and affiliation, you say. There is only one person in the world who taught me the sword, and there is only one person whom I serve. The favor I received is like the sky, but I am a foolish and lacking person who can't find a way to repay it. I am Dako Rang, the foolish younger brother of the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler, who is beyond heaven's reach. Azure Dragon Sword Ruler. Who's that? What is he talking about? Isn't Dako Rang the solitary swordsman? What's foolish younger brother supposed to mean? Did he say Azure Dragon Sword Ruler? So there was someone behind you. Did you think I wouldn't know you're related to the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor? Dark Heaven Martial Emperor. The one who killed the head of the Namgung clan and formed the Yangtze River Pirate Strongholds Union. Why would that person, disciples of the Gongsun clan, surround this man immediately? I'll reveal the reason why you and your backer infiltrated the Murim Alliance. Take this man away immediately. Contact the main office at once. Now is not the time for Secretary Woon to step forward. Am the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler. Someone like you can't just be an ordinary wanderer. Reveal your clan and affiliation. Who are you, and where are you from? Oh. Clan and affiliation, you say. There is only one person in the world who taught me the sword, and there is only one person whom I serve. The favor I received is like the sky, but I am a foolish and lacking person who can't find a way to repay it. I am Dako Rang, the foolish younger brother of the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler, who is beyond heaven's reach. No, Dako. You are not foolish. Rather, the foolish one is me. I did not even realize that my sworn brother was taking care of me. And I did not understand his concern for me until the moment he died. The favor I received is like the sky, but I am a foolish and lacking person who can't find a way to repay it. So there was someone behind you. Did you think I wouldn't know you're related to the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor? I'll reveal the reason why you and your backer infiltrated the Murim Alliance. Brother Il told me not to get involved with the grudges of the martial world and to just practice my sword. If possible, do not get involved with the grudges of the martial world. Just practice your sword. Take this man away immediately. Contact the main office at once. How can I possibly hide myself here? Now is not the time for Secretary Woon to step forward. Your Lordship Woon, what are you planning to do? I am the Azure Dragon, Sword Ruler. Although I have become a foolish brother to my older brother. What do you mean? I just told you that I am the Azure Dragon, Sword Ruler. So if you have any questions for my younger brother, ask me. Watch me so that I can be an older brother that Dako can be proud of. Itachi. What is this? Is this guy crazy? Stop him quickly. Hi whoa, whoa. Ha. A person. It seems like he is bleeding a lot. Gongsun. The Gongsun clan. He is still alive. Call a doctor quickly. The Gongsun clan was attacked. It burned. The news that the head of the inner hall of the Gongsun clan, who came running covered in blood, brought was that the main house of the Gongsun clan, one of the world's 4 greatest martial factions, as well as one of the 18 great martial factions, was attacked and burned down. Hearing the news, the head of the Gongsun clan, Gongsun Wu, and his disciples immediately left for the main house. Additionally, a strategy meeting was held at the Murim Alliance. Since the heads of the 18 factions were already gathered, the meeting proceeded quickly. The Murim Alliance classified the situation as a serious crime, and decided to completely identify and punish the bandits who attacked the Gongsun clan. This is the records office. I will take my leave now. Do so. Please have a seat. Thank you. 2 seats are empty. Are they the seats of the Namgong clan and the Gongsun clan? Thank you for coming. I am Taeho, the leader of Shaolin. Even though I couldn't meet the leader of the sect at Shaolin Temple, I got to see him here. The leader of the sect doesn't even come near here. Considering he wouldn't hear any good words if he came. It's understandable. I am Woon Hyun. What made you think that way? Do you dare to speak recklessly, knowing where you are? It is we who are asking. Sword Conqueror Hyukrian Cheol Hu, the patriarch of the Hyukrian clan. That's enough, Lord Hyukrian. This is really troubling. If it weren't for the fact that Benefactor Woon Hyun has relations with the divine monk, I wouldn't have taken on this role. Benefactor, you said you are the Azure Dragon, Sword Ruler. Is that true? Does that mean you are the one who has been sending mysterious letters to various martial factions for years? Yes, it is true. However, I have never sent letters to the Yangtze River Pirates or the Green Forest Bandits. Then have you ever met that scum called the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor? Is he ignoring me? Ack. Have you met him? I met him when I visited Venerable Monk Y Bull on behalf of the Murim Alliance last time. And we exchanged swords. You mean you had a duel? That's right. It is said that you are known as the Sword Saint's successor. Is that also true? No, it is not. What? Nonsense. But the divine monk clearly stated that you are the successor of the Sword Saint. Are you saying he lied? Since you are from Shaolin, you must know divine monk Byul-yong well. Did he really say that I am the successor of the Sword Saint? Ahem. Well, Monk Byul-yong might have led him to misunderstand. It is true that I received a sword from the Sword Saint. However, I am not the successor of the Sword Saint. And here, I will tell you all about the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor. Behind the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor, there is a figure known as the First Great Overseer. He extends his influence not only to the Yangtze Pirates but also to the Green Forest. And he might even be affecting government officials and the merchants. The First Great Overseer. What on earth is he aiming for by doing such things? There is something I suspect he is aiming for, but I am not sure if I should discuss it here. Benefactor, we have doubts about you rather than those far-fetched stories. You sent strange letters but claimed to have no relation to the pirates, and you received a sword from the Sword Saint but are not his successor, which doesn't make sense. That is. Moreover, it is very coincidental that the time you entered the Murim Alliance exactly matches the time when the Yangtze River pirates started to become active. It seems you will have to stay here for a while. I'm sorry, but I have no intention of doing that. Are you saying you won't cooperate with us? How can it be right to detain an innocent person based on mere suspicion? You scoundrel! Are you saying we are unjustly persecuting you now? If that's what you believe, present definite evidence and witnesses. Not baseless conjecture. You dare to act so arrogantly, relying on the power of the divine monk. Even if we were to persecute you unjustly, what could you possibly do? In that case, I won't just stand still either. What did you say? Hucrian, hold on. Given the situation, it would be best for you to cooperate, benefactor. Whether it is this or that, it has nothing to do with me. You haven't listened to a word I've said since the beginning, so what cooperation are you talking about? If you insist on being stubborn, we will have no choice. Is that so? This is quite coincidental. I think the same way. If you insist on being stubborn, we will have no choice. Is that so? This is quite coincidental. I think the same way. How dare he? Excuse me. This is Officer Guan Jibu. What's the matter? I told you not to let anyone in. Oh, one moment. The divine monk. What are you all doing gathered here? Monk Bulyong. I thought you all were dead since none of you were showing up, but it seems you're all alive and well. What brings you here? I came to find a disciple. I wanted to send him on an errand for tea, but I heard you took him. A disciple. A disciple. If you learned from the same master, what else would you be if not disciples? Learned from the same master. What do you mean? Do you not know who my master is? See, could you be a disciple of the previous great master? I feel like I'm falling into Monk Bulyong's trap again. I did receive teachings. What did you learn? Mental training. Mental training. Did you receive anything else? Like a token of some sort? I did receive something called the Great Elixir. The Great Elixir. But it wasn't the real Great Elixir. It was just a mixture of miscellaneous herbs. Is that all? Ah, and I received a note. The contents. It said that it conveys a lifetime of insights and that others' words cannot be trusted. Oh my. But that was just a joke that the hidden Buddha monk used to tell. You fool. How can value only be in things you can see? What you received is more precious than the Great Elixir. How can receiving the lifelong insights of hidden Buddha monk, the previous great master of Shaolin, be considered a small matter? Teho, since I am your senior, this man also becomes your senior. Isn't that right? This isn't about that. This guy is. You're calling my disciple and the Shaolin abbot's senior this guy. And what isn't right about this? The words of a suspicious person cannot be trusted, no matter how plausible they seem. In contrast, the words of a trusted person are always taken seriously. Are you saying that you dare not trust my disciple? Is that it, huh? I've been duped again. A few days later, at dawn, near Woon Hyun's lodging. It's quiet, perhaps because it's dawn. If every day could be like this, how nice would that be? How are you? Good, did you sleep well? Namo Amitba. If it's okay with you, I have something to say. Well, I expected this to happen eventually. Alright, let's go together. Behind the Crouching Dragon Pavilion, it's a quiet place. I didn't know there was such a place behind the Crouching Dragon Pavilion. It seems you want to avoid people's attention. That's right. What do you want to say? I haven't paid proper respects. Greetings to my senior once again. Please, no need for such formalities, esteemed monk. It's a grave error to be disrespectful to an elder of the sect. Even if you didn't know, how can such a greeting suffice? Is he planning to stay there until I accept his apology? All right. Let's stop here. I will accept your apology. Thank you for accepting the apology of your foolish junior, senior. You don't need to call me senior, esteemed monk. There is no senior who calls their disciple an esteemed monk, senior. He is a person who never yields in such matters. Ahem, is that all you have to say? I came to inform you of the Murim Alliance's decision regarding you, senior. Shaolin, in accordance with the wishes of the previous Great Master Hidden Buddha monk and the Divine Monk Bulyong, acknowledges you as an official member of Shaolin, senior. However, you are not formally ordained, senior. Therefore, you will hold the status of a lay disciple, that is, a secular disciple. A secular disciple. It means someone who is a disciple of Shaolin but does not have an official status or rank within Shaolin. Since you are not ordained, you do not bear the duties of a monk and can choose not to receive a Dharma name or seal if you wish. But it does not change the fact that you are a disciple of the previous Great Master and Divine Monk Bulyong. In short, I have no real authority or obligations. Since I have no intention of asserting any claim within Shaolin, this is probably the best for now. With this, the Murim Alliance has cleared all suspicions regarding senior. You, on behalf of the Murim Alliance, I formally apologize to you, senior. Please don't take it too harshly on them. They are all on edge after the burning of the main house of the Gongsun clan. Moreover, Benefactor Hyukrian has a bad relationship with the Sword Saint. But there were also many who respect the Sword Saint and owe their lives to Senior Bulyong. Even in the worst-case scenario, things wouldn't have gone too far. You're telling me to just understand and forgive them as if nothing happened. A moment ago, you apologized for their rudeness, and now you ask me to understand their circumstances. Which one reflects your true feelings? If you are going to call me senior, act accordingly. If they had done the same to esteemed monk Bulyong, would you still say the same thing? Sigh. Senior, you are making your junior feel ashamed. Mal, I have been disrespectful again. I will leave the matter of Benefactor Hyukrian's attitude entirely up to your judgment, senior. If you wish, Shaolin will demand an official apology from him. I don't need his apology. I just want to know whose side you are on. This junior is. I understand the decision of Shaolin and the Murim Alliance well. If there is nothing else, I will take my leave now. Senior. Sigh. Was I too harsh on esteemed monk Taeho, whose position is ambiguous? Was I too sensitive? But he only conveyed the message without asking for my opinion. Well, as the head of Shaolin, he has a lot to consider and be bound by, so it was inevitable. I don't dislike monk Taeho, but meetings filled with calculations and ulterior motives are really uncomfortable. Brother Dako, it seems today's dawn training is off, so let's go have a meal. Yes, your lordship. The one they call the Azure Dragon Sword. That's right. It has been revealed that he is the same person known as the heir of the Sword Saint. Currently, he is staying at the Murim Alliance as a disciple of the Divine Monk. He is the one who went to the North Sea last time. It's too coincidental to be a mere chance. Could he have noticed my plans? No one in the world can see through King Mun's strategy. Oh, my. I didn't know you had met everyone in the world. Do you have any basis for that statement? Ah. I just. Get lost. I hate flattery. And I despise trash that speaks without any basis even more. What do you think? I just follow orders as you command. Yes, what I want is not the judgment of useless people but absolute obedience. I don't need a horse that thinks and moves on its own. I hate flattery. And I despise trash that speaks without any basis even more. What do you think? I just follow orders as you command. Yes, what I want is not the judgment of useless people but absolute obedience. I don't need a horse that thinks and moves on its own. A net that encompasses the heavens is useless if it has holes. It's better to prepare for the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler in advance. Even if he isn't the owner of the tome. What is the status of the iron-armored cavalry? It's operating smoothly. However, there have been some issues in the Hell Squad. The condition of those who took the soul pill for a long time has deteriorated earlier than expected. Is that so? Then increase the strength of the Wandering Souls Squad. The Pirate Stronghold's Grand Exhibition of Sect Foundation is in 10 days, right? That's correct. Shall we take action regarding the Hell Squad? No need. There are plenty of people anyway. More importantly, ensure that there are no problems procuring the ingredients for making the soul pill. If necessary, put pressure on the merchants. Ha! Is there someone there? Your lordship, people from the Morone clan have come to see you. I apologize for visiting late at night, your lordship Woon. It's all right. Please come in. Thank you. Miss, please come inside. Yes. Will you come in too? No. All right then, you should take a rest now. Don't just stand out here. I said that, but I doubt he'll go back right away. I should ask to move Brother Dako's quarters to a closer location by tomorrow. It's humble, but please have a seat. Why are you doing this suddenly, miss? The Azure Dragon Sword Ruler is a benefactor who saved our clan. I understand that this is not enough to show proper respect. The Patriarch will express his gratitude personally soon, but I, though lacking, wanted to thank you first. So please do not take offense. Miss, is the courtesy you are showing me related to the fact that I now formally hold a position in Shaolin? It might be. But what could we do when you hadn't properly revealed your name? Revealing my name was solely my decision. It's not something for you to be concerned with. You're right. It's not for others to meddle in. So, you said you held a scholar's position. Yes, that's correct. Hiding behind the name of a scholar. Come to think of it, I met a literati a few days ago who was indeed a former scholar. Right. The name recommended by Jean. I apologize, your lordship Woon. Watching others be flustered. Was it all that enjoyable for you? Oh no, if he's not careful, he might start crying. Ah, so that's why you are angry, huh? Pardon. I intended to hide it, but I didn't mean to tease. It may sound like an excuse, but I did plan to tell you someday, and I never intended to deceive you. You have always shown me sincere kindness, Miss Morong. I apologize, Miss Morong. Scholar Woon. Ahem. The way you're acting looks like a couple exchanging marriage vows. What? Brother. Ahem, ahem. Now that the misunderstanding seems to be cleared up, let's sit down and talk. Humph. Anyone would think you're the owner of this place, brother. Whoa. It's amazing that me forgave so quickly. As expected, your lordship, you sure are impressive. I couldn't say a single word to her on the way here. The chill was so intense. Brother. When did I ever give you a cold shoulder? Indeed, how could such a fiery child behave like that earlier? I am the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler. So the true identity of the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler is you, your lordship. Then, Beyond Heaven's Reach is. That's just part of the title. Beyond Heaven's Reach Azure Dragon Sword Ruler. It's not a faction or affiliation, but just a phrase Great Scholar Woon uses to describe himself. That's right. But how did you know? There was a time when I thought you might be the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler. So I figured it out. Great Scholar Woon is someone with no hidden intentions, just as he appears to be. Of course, not telling us was a little disappointing. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because it wouldn't have changed anything. The decision we made to trust you wouldn't change, Great Scholar Woon. To think their trust in me was this strong. Ah. Come to think of it, the Murong clan patriarch. He couldn't come. No, to be more precise, he chose not to come. He knew about the summons to the Muram Alliance's main office. He was worried that a personal visit from the head of the Murong clan might cause more harm than good in this situation. In fact, the one who most wanted to meet you was the patriarch. But since we didn't know your intentions, he sent us first to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings. Your lordship. Grandfather. Greetings to the patriarch. Finally, I get to meet your lordship. Yes, great warrior. Ho ho, calling me a great warrior is embarrassing. I am but a foolish martial artist who hasn't even mastered the clan sword. That is not true. Had you not shown the essence of the Murong clan swordsmanship, how could I have guessed the next step? I was only a small catalyst. Someday, you would have reached that level regardless. Ho ho ho, as expected of your lordship. Since the moon is bright tonight, shall we have a drink by the lake? How could I refuse such a proposal from the great warrior? I gladly accept. Good, very good. Let's go at once. Grandfather. It's all right. It doesn't matter if the Muram Alliance misunderstands, as long as we don't. Isn't that right? Indeed. It doesn't matter as long as we don't. Ha ha ha, I knew you would say that. Let's go. Grandfather couldn't hold back in the end. Well, if his lordship is okay with it, then it's fine. Let's go too. Why are men like this? If only we could hold back a little, we could have avoided unnecessary misunderstandings. Sigh. You go ahead. I'll bring Sang-ah. Sang-ah. At this late hour. If Sang-ah feels left out and gets upset, will you take responsibility, brother? Ah. Alright, got it. Then come to 3 pools mirroring the moon later. If we go somewhere else, I'll leave a message there. Yes, please do. Sang-ah will be happy. She was whining about wanting to play late at night. If I ask her, she'll come running, won't she? Just as they said. The moon is particularly bright tonight. Gongsun Clan Manor, Jiangxi Province. Is there no one who survived? Only the inner hall leader survived among those who faced them within the manor. The ones who couldn't engage in martial arts and fled managed to save their lives. They're truly vicious. Have all the bodies been collected? We first gathered them at the nearby branch. The physicians are currently investigating the cause of death. Thoroughly examine the wounds on the bodies and make sure to find the culprit. Whoever they are, they will surely pay the price. Hidden Sword Gongsun will head of the Gongsun clan. The number of forces in Jianghu that could burn down our Gongsun clan's manor can be counted on one hand. Once their techniques are identified, it shouldn't be difficult to find the perpetrators. But there's something, what seems to be the problem. The initial investigation revealed that the majority of the deaths were caused by penetrative wounds. The wounds were mostly in vital areas like the chest or forehead. And the size was roughly that of an adult's head. In severe cases, many had no upper neck at all. What are you saying? Penetrating wounds. What could possibly leave such marks? According to the testimony of the inner hall leader, the attackers were a cavalry unit in black armor, wielding spears. Spears. According to the opinion of the outer hall leader, it could be the work of someone with immense inner strength who attacked with explosive rotational force. Legends of the Swordsman Scholar. A martial art with distinct characteristics and a well-trained group. It's definitely not the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor or the Hell Squad. They wouldn't need to disguise themselves as a cavalry unit. Just what is their identity? As for the other bodies, the stab wounds appeared to be mostly from swords or broadswords, and while destructive, the wounds weren't consistent in shape, suggesting they weren't inflicted by someone proficient in martial arts. Could it be, as the rumors say? You mean this is the work of the Green Forest bandits? I apologize. No, even if it is just a rumor spread by the perpetrator, it's worth investigating. Send scouts from each branch to the nearby mountain camps. Avoid conflicts, but observe their movements and thoroughly investigate their size and activities. What about the branch leaders? They're currently on standby in Nanchang. And the envoys from the Munyung Trading Company are also waiting for you, clan head. The Munyung Trading Company. They too suffered near annihilation from an attack by an unidentified group. More importantly, the eldest son of the company, who died, was the son-in-law of our Gongsun clan. If all of this is part of someone's scheme, they have been successful. It's no exaggeration to say that our Gongsun clan has lost half of its military power and wealth. Moreover, the honor we've already lost is irreparable. The Nangung clan went into seclusion after the death of their patriarch. Partly because there was a will not to act until they had regained strength, but also because the death of their patriarch was so catastrophic. However, we are different. As long as I, the head of the clan, am alive and our core members are intact, it won't take long to regain our lost prestige. The problem is that our influence in the Murim alliance has significantly weakened. It seems we'll have no choice but to accept the proposal from the Tang clan. Let's go. Yes, clan head. Murim alliance library. Yawn. Is it because this is the first meeting of the Murim alliance representatives since the suspension of the Murim contest? It's pleasantly quiet. The library and the document delivery department were always bustling because of that damned contest. Excuse me, I need to review some records. You really have no sense, secretary. Where are you from? Did you bring a formal request? I'm from the guest reception hall. Do I need a formal request? Ha. Look here, you. Wait a moment. Are you, by any chance, the secretary from the guest reception hall? Ah, yes. That's correct. Nice to meet you. You can access the library records anytime you want, secretary. Thank you. Are you looking for any specific records? Ah, I was hoping to check the regular reports that have been submitted to the various branches in the last few months. What? Regular reports. You can find those on the right, third shelf. They should be easy to locate. Is there anything else you need? No, thank you. You should know that regular reports from the branches are classified. Explain what you're doing. If it goes wrong, be prepared to be held accountable. That person is a disciple of the divine monk. What? No way. The third shelf, huh? Yes, that no way is true. But why is someone like that working as a secretary? Who knows? Successor training, huh? What a ridiculous story. The Murim Alliance officially approved the dispatch of the new 5 emergent clans, marking the beginning of a new era for the 23 great martial factions. But that era was fraught with numerous issues, including the Yangtze Pirates Union, the Hell Squad, and the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor, the ongoing Murim contest, and the discontent of martial factions who hadn't heard of the new 5 emergent families. The most pressing issue among them was how to handle the tragedy of the Gongsun clan. Absolutely not. Esteemed monk Jinmiang, the new representative of Shaolin. The Gongsun clan's request cannot be accepted. How can they demand that all activities of each martial faction be disclosed for the past 3 months? What is this if not surveillance? Does that mean Shaolin won't uphold the Murim Alliance's resolution? That isn't what I am saying. The Gongsun clan clearly stated that the culprits were armed with black armor and spears. So why are we being asked to prove our innocence? Well, that's because no other force but we have the power to burn down the Gongsun clan's manor, isn't that so, monk? Mook Hyaliap, representative of the Mafia Society. Are you suggesting that Shaolin attacked the Gongsun clan? Shaolin doesn't even have a cavalry that uses spears. Just because nothing has been revealed doesn't mean it didn't happen. Come to think of it, doesn't the Yang clan, which is affiliated with Shaolin, have a long tradition of spear techniques? Tang Xiaorian, representative of the Tang clan. Are you suspecting Shaolin now? You're straying from the point. I'm merely stating that none of us are free from suspicion. The Nangung clan was destroyed by the Hell Squad, a force we didn't even know existed. Is there any guarantee that another force like that doesn't exist? Indeed, it's impossible to know. But rather than that possibility, isn't it far more likely that one of us has been secretly raising a cavalry unit? I understand the Gongsun clan's feelings, but isn't their demand too excessive? Excessive. Our manor, the Gongsun clan's foundational building, was burned, and the blood of countless disciples was shed. We will never back down until this blood debt is repaid. O Buddha! To think their gazes would be so cold. Is this the karma Shaolin accumulated in the Murim alliance? Everyone, please calm down. We won't get anywhere if we continue with such emotional outbursts. That's easy for someone provoking emotions to say. Plum Blossom Swordsman Yang Hojin, representative of the MANHWA sect. For the Gongsun clan's claim to gain credibility, we first need a third-party verification. Fortunately, the skilled elders of the Tang clan are here. So, let's start by re-examining the traces left by the culprits. And while the Tang clan is conducting its investigation, I ask that all of you remain here, at the Murim Alliance. That includes the leaders and key figures of each martial faction. Why is that? To avoid any misunderstandings. Misunderstandings. That someone rushed back to erase any evidence or clues. So, for the sake of mutual trust, I hope you can endure this inconvenience for a while. How long will this take? A month. Fortunately, Nanchang isn't too far, so a month should be enough. In the meantime, how about resuming the Murim contest that was halted? But Nanchang isn't exactly close, so can the investigation really be completed in a month? The Tang clan doesn't make promises they can't keep. Of course, I'm not asking you to decide right away. After all, it's not something that can be done without the elders' consent. You just need to relay this proposal to them. Very well. Let's each carefully consider the Tang clan's proposal and discuss it again tomorrow. Jagal Ryan, representative of the Jagal clan. Today's discussion ends here. One more thing. I have a question. You're suggesting that while we stay here, the Tang clan will investigate the situation. Can we really trust an investigation carried out solely by the Tang clan? Not solely, but together with the Gongsun clan. If you want to verify it yourself, you are welcome to join, Great Warrior Yang Hojin. If you say so, I will gladly accept, Lady Tang Xiaorian. Then, with this, I also have one more thing to say. What is it? I propose the formal disassociation between the Murim Alliance and the Divine Monk. Then, with this, I also have one more thing to say. What is it? I propose the formal disassociation between the Murim Alliance and the Divine Monk. The Divine Monk has already ceased all official activities. And the Murim Alliance has been operating independently of him. So, there's no need to change our name or expel anyone. We just need to formally resolve that the Murim Alliance and the Divine Monk are no longer connected. Like stamping a document. It's just a very formal act, nothing more. I'm sure everyone already knows the reason. This isn't us abandoning the Divine Monk. It's the Divine Monk who has abandoned us. What do you mean by that? The Divine Monk abandoned us. The newly arrived representative of the Duanmu clan may not know this. But you do know that the disciple of the Divine Monk has appeared, right? And that he was once known as the successor to the Sword Saint. From the start, there were always concerns. Some worried that the successor to the Sword Saint might also become the successor to the Divine Monk. If that were to happen, it would essentially mean he would become the next leader of the Murim Alliance. I didn't know that. So, we have no choice but to do this, right? Losing the rightful position is one thing, but being kicked out empty-handed later would be too unjust. There was no representative who refuted Tang Xiaorian's words. The next day, with the approval of the leaders of the various martial factions and overwhelming support, both proposals passed. And so, the leadership of the Murim Alliance was changed. Murim Alliance Library. They're all records of the Murim contest. This one is from the Shangxi branch. Isn't that where MANHWA is? These are also just reports about MANHWA sect's participation in the Murim contest. As expected, the reports from the Murim Alliance branches are limited. The mastermind behind Dark Heaven Martial Emperor, who has seized control of the Yangtze River pirates and the Green Forest bandits. If he's moving systematically, there should definitely be some trace left somewhere. Maybe because the Murim Alliance branch there was recently established, there aren't any proper reports. Indeed, high-quality documents written with expertise are rare everywhere. Even with all these books, most of the content is about the Murim contest. The rest of the records are about the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor and the Namgung clan, but from now on, they'll be filled with reports about the incidents involving the Gongsun clan. There's nothing I can do right now. I'd like to keep requesting help from the Tiger Rock Trading Company as a last resort. So, you want me to solve it. But as your junior, I thought you might at least listen to my concerns. Little rascal, you used to frown every time I called you my junior. Now you want me to listen to your worries. Are you only my junior when it suits you? Then just think of it as repayment for the tea I served you. Repayment for 1 cup of tea served to an old monk. I wouldn't drink this even if you gave it to me for free, you brat. So tell me. Why is a guy who seemed to be living in complete isolation from the world, suddenly taking an interest in the affairs of the Murim? Well, shouldn't I know what the first grade overseer is planning so I can respond accordingly? Why are you worrying about that? Even if something happens, it's got nothing to do with you. It is said that the rise and fall of a nation rests upon every citizen. Knowing that something bad is about to happen, it's only natural to be worried, isn't it? Heh, you brat. Carefully calculating the gains and losses before making a move is what so-called great martial factions do, and it's the heartless way of Murim. But this guy is acting as if it's only natural to move, even though there's nothing for him to gain. Or maybe he isn't even thinking about gaining anything. Why are you asking me about the state of the Murim? I'm just an old monk stuck in this place. Some people grab at everything they can, while others choose to focus on just one thing that matters. Is that flattery? Half of it, yes. Alright. It's been a while since someone made this old man laugh, so I'll tell you something special. Go to the Namgung clan. Namgung clan. But aren't they currently closed off? In the martial world, the places with the most ears are the Buddhist or Taoist factions like Shaolin or Wudang. They have countless followers, and with so many secular disciples. Temples, and Taoist shrines scattered all over the world, it's only natural that they hear a lot. Then why don't I go to Shaolin or Wudang instead? If you go to them, do you think they'll tell you anything? No, they wouldn't, I guess. The next place with a lot of information is the Tang clan. The Tang clan specializes in poison and hidden weapons, and they engage in shady dealings, so they're always mindful of how others perceive them. Like a guilty thief, they're always on edge, listening closely. Then should I go to the Tang clan? So that won't work either, huh? Exactly. That's why I'm telling you to go to the Namgung clan. The Namgung clan's influence was the greatest among the 4 great families. Even the brilliant Jagal clan couldn't surpass them. And the Tang clan found them formidable as well. Look. As soon as the Namgung clan disappeared, the Tang clan started acting like wild, unrestrained horses. Could it be that the Tang clan has some grievances? Of course they do. That damned old man obsessed with poison. I had only asked for 1 rare spiritual herb, yet he refused and ran off. What's the big deal about a 10,000-year ginseng anyway? How much could it possibly be worth? 10,000-year ginseng is a bit But I doubt the Namgung clan will just tell me anything easily, either. Especially since the Namgung clan is currently that so-called closure.